All right, I've got a brand new GMG Davy Crockett pellet grill. Super excited about this. This is their newest Wi-Fi model. I'm replacing an earlier version and just wanted to go through the setup with you guys and show you guys how we put this together. I know sometimes the instructions can be challenging, so why not a good hands-on video? So initially I just put this on a cart, pulled it out of the box, taken all the styrofoam off, and pulled out all of the parts that are on the inside of the grill. So just removing the protective plastic coating that was around the legs, and then remove the plastic coating that's around the hood here, protecting the stainless steel. It's just piece by piece here. It seems like it is sticking a little bit around the logo, so we'll have to address that logo separately. See how we'll make sure that all of that plastic is off before we fire it for the first time. Okay, same thing at the bottom here. We will take a closer look around that logo and make sure that we get all of that plastic off before we go ahead and give it its first fire. Now as I've opened it up here, we've already removed the grates, we've removed everything that's really inside of the grill to get down to the basics of the grill. So this is essentially our throat, where our auger is, where it's going to be churning fuel into our fire pot right here. And in the center of the fire pot, this is our igniter that's sticking out. So it's actually the hot rod that's going to be lighting the fire for us that's deep down inside. So always good to have an awareness and an understanding of this. Ash will collect around here, will collect inside the fire pot, so periodic cleaning will require you to pull out the inner component so that we can get down there and keep things clean. The unit does come with a nice little tool right here, and the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to reverse around our handle. So we're just going to pop that to the outside, and that'll make it a little easier for us as we get things started. We've got 3 washers on there. Make sure we don't lose those. Just gonna hold the handle from the inside. Just gonna clamp down. Do this last one here. Right, we can peel off the rest of that plastic that was underneath. Alright, so now I have the handle completely out of the plastic. I've just put the little feet directly in these flanged washers right here. I don't have any gasket in place on the front. And I'm just kind of lining things up to the bottom side. I have the bolts that I originally removed. I have double washers in place. So I'm just going to thread this with my finger until it's snug. And then we'll do the other side until it's snug, and we're going to go ahead and tighten these up. Tool, spin this on much faster. No need to over tighten, just nice and snug. Alright, so our handle is completely on there. We're good to go on that front. I'm really thinking here with the plastic around our logos that it's kind of tucked in from underneath, kind of like what our handle was. So I'm thinking the best option for us here is that we're actually going to want to get a little screwdriver or a little wrench, take off nuts, pull out the logos on both sides so that we can get a little bit of plastic that's underneath. We don't want that heating up to the lid, so we're going to do that separately. On the inside right here, I basically just have a few components that are going to go into place. So I'm going to have this grease strip baffle right here. Now this fire baffle is what's going to go in first. So the fire baffle, as you see, has a number of different holes in it. This is going to center basically right over the top of our fire pot right here. And we have a very large cutout opening, which is going to go towards the hopper side of the grill. You'll also see these little notches beneath right there. So as that fits in, it has a little bit of wiggle room from side to side. Now you can kind of experiment and play with that. Generally speaking, I like to have it pushed up as far as it can go. And that way it's perfectly centered right inside of the grill. Next, we're going to put in the new one-piece stainless steel grease strip baffle. Again, they also do make a two-piece grease strip baffle with holes in it as an alternative option. But the new style is the one-piece. So I kind of put that in at an angle. And the little lip right there just kind of sits right on the top lip. And it's going to angle down right here to our little grease channel that we have below. We have two little stainless steel grates. And we're going to flip that over. Okay, yeah, we did have that correct the first time. So it just rests on the little lip right there, right inside. Grate number 2 right here in place. So now our grates are set. Next thing that we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to attach the smokestack on the side. So we have a little gasket in place and 3 bolts that hold that on there. So same wrenches used that GMG provides. So we're just going to take these off. Alright, so I got all 3 bolts out that hold on the chimney stack right here, so we can go ahead and actually mount the chimney stack. The little gasket right here is a specialty gasket that fits in right behind it. I'm just making sure that my holes are visible in the slots right here so I can put in the bolts. And I'm just lightly putting these in right now by hand, and then we'll go ahead and we'll tighten up all 3. I am leaving both washers on those nuts as we do that. So again, just threading by hand here, getting them in place. We'll get the 3rd one in place. Just like that. And we'll snug everything up. Nice and easy. This really is a great handy tool that GMG includes. It's got a nice length to it, which allows us to do this without a lot of ratchets and wrenches and things of that nature. Now on top of the smokestack right here, we do have a little cover. So you will find a difference in the draft with this cover. General rule of thumb is that this is cracked open a little bit like a crescent moon, we like to say. But you may find circumstances where you do want to have that a little bit more closed and where you do want to have that a little bit more open. Always good to experiment and kind of try things out, and everything's a little different based on what you're looking for a result. So now that we've got the smokestack on there, we've got the lid right on the hood, we've got everything inside, we just want to take a really quick look at the powering options for this guy. So in the included box right here, we have what they call an AC adapter. We have a 110 volt, 120 volt plug. We have our DC cord. And then we also have a 3rd option right here, which is a cord which I can take direct to the jumpers or the posts on a traditional 12 volt battery. So we're just going to go ahead and spin this around a little bit. On the back side right here is the port for our power. So on the very back side, I'm going to insert the 12 volt portion because this is a 12 volt grill with 12 volt motors. So I'm going to insert the 12 volt plug. Does not matter which plug-in, they're both the exact same. And then from there, if I'm running on regular 110, 120 volt house power, it's going to plug right into my adapter. On the opposite end of that, I have the connection for a standard 110 regular plug-in cord. So just like that, and I'm ready to plug this direct into a wall. Now let's say that I'm out tailgating. This has a nice It's got to be a good 20-25 foot of wire, so I can take this and I can plug this directly into any 12 volt adapter outlet that's inside of the car. Or if I'm in a little bit more of a remote location, such as a campsite, I can have this adapter with me. I can bring along a 12 volt battery, and I simply connect black to black and red to red. So 3 different power options for the GMG, and that's kind of how they plug in and how they work. So we're just going to spin this back around. A few more things to show you before we fire this puppy up and grill it. I'm going to open up the hopper right here. Still have a couple items inside the hopper. We have our meat probe, which we'll go ahead and we'll show you how that goes in and functions right away. So this is a specialty probe, and the probe is actually going to insert right into the port by our control board and then feed in right through the body of the grill so we can insert it into the meat that we have on the grill. Beautiful thing about this food probe is it shows us real-time temperature of the meat, where we can either inspect what that temperature is right on the control board, or we can now do it on the GMG app via Wi-Fi. Pretty cool feature. So the probe actually plugs in kind of like a pair of old headphones. And I'm going to just unravel the coiling here for a little bit. It is a specialty fire wire that's on here. So we don't want to bend it, we don't want to crease it, we want to be careful and gentle. And we have this little side port right here that's on the grill, and this is actually where our food probe is going to insert. So we go inside, I can feed that through, I can easily put it into any piece of the meat that I have, and again I can get a direct readout right on the grill right here by either pushing the food button or on the GMG app when I'm using the Wi-Fi feature. We do have a nice little stainless steel bucket that comes with the grill. So the bucket is actually going to hang on this side. We just have a little welded nub right here where that's going to rest on. So that's for our grease. So our grease is going to gradually drip into that pail. Again, I have it right now on the little foot springs as we have it sitting on this cart. And again, these do fold up, so I can actually use these as carrying handles right here. Otherwise, when I fold them down, I can fully lock them into place when I pick the grill up. So the legs will lock into place, so it'll be a standing up grill. In addition, because all the new Davy Crockett's here are Wi-Fi, we do have an antenna right here, which is also going to mount onto the control board. So we just have a basic kind of coax cable there. We're going to thread this on just by hand, and the little cable sticks up just like that. And that gives us nice signal. I think we can go close to 100 feet between our phone and wherever the grill is placed. We'll be able to control the settings and see the temperature of the food all the way through. So just a few more important safety informations along with your manual and things that are inside. This little grate that's inside of the hopper, this can be just left right in place. Just make sure that no large oddball objects that get dropped in there can actually go into our auger. Because as we look right inside right here, we can actually see the fuel auger. So this is the auger that's driving pellets into the fire. Remove that little piece of paper in there, but we'll churn that out. But that's our little auger. So this is what's actually going to fill with fuel. They do include a little small bag of pellets right here. So I'm going to dump these into the auger. And as we first turn that on, it'll help what we call prime the auger, or bring fuel from the auger into the fire pot. Obviously we do want to fill this with more pellets, but they do include a nice little 1 pound bag there so we can initially prime the auger. I am going to put this little metal grate back in there. Again, just a little safety for us in case something accidentally falls in there. And lastly, this comes with a nice little side shelf right here. Just a nice little area where we can set down a scraper. The new design now has hooks on the outside so we can hang, our barbecue brush and maybe a pair of hot mitts. But we have basically 2 little holes here on either side, and we have to kind of line those up, and that'll push right through. Just like that. I can easily pull this back off, but Especially if you're going to put this in a tote bag for transporting, it's always good just to take this off and then put it on the inside of the grill. But otherwise, if we're just leaving it as our backyard barbecue, like I am for right now, we're going to put that little side shelf right there. I'm going to hang my brushes and my little apron and my hot mitts right there on the side. And we're going to go ahead and get this thing fired up. So join me for the next video. While we get this fired up, we go through kind of a prep process. And in between, I am going to pull off these two little logos right here so I can make sure that I have the plastic pulled off that's behind there. Again, we don't want that etching into the stainless steel lid. Thanks so much for joining us. Hope this video was helpful for you.